You follow the Lions pretty closely, Hodgie. That goes without saying. Lachie Neale has extended his deal. It took me by a little bit of surprise. I thought he probably would finish his career back at Fremantle. Take us through your opinion on that. A pretty big signature for the Lions.
Yeah, it is. I think with all the murmurs that came out last year, I reckon that got a lot of people by surprise with the fact that he had 2 years to go on a contract and was looking to come home. But you know, you've got family, you've got kids. They had going through COVID. How a lot of people, especially down south in Melbourne and Sydney, New South Wales, what they went through with more lockdowns than anyone else in Australia. That was tough for so many people. And you look at Lachie and Jules, they were over here. They were about to have their first bub. They had no support from family. All their family support's either in Adelaide or WA. And you can understand, being a new-time parent, it is a tough thing to adjust while you're trying to be professional footballers. Jules was still working, and they didn't have much support apart from their friends in and around them. I think what we've noticed over the last 12 months is the Lions listened, the Lions identified that, and they've thrown as much support around. And plus, it also helps that now the borders are open, you can get family members flying over to give them a bit of a chop out and help them out. But I think it sort of showed that he does enjoy his time in Queensland, so signing on to 2026. I guess the other flip side is have Fremantle cooled the Jets. The fact that they're sitting second on the ladder, they've got a really good mix of young guys. They're that strong at the moment that they put Nat Fyfe back through the seconds, and I don't think Fremantle would have done that for the previous 8 years. So I think it's a little bit of two things. Brisbane looking good, Lachie feels comfortable, but also Fremantle are very comfortable in the position that they've got with their list.
Yeah, as you said, 2026. So he's 29, takes him till about 33. I mean, just a fact that players are going to play for longer, aren't they? Would have been unheard of. There was the old Andrew McLeod rule at Adelaide where they would only give him a 1 year extension, and I reckon Boomer Harvey, when he was 30, signed about 7 1-year deals. But definitely players playing longer, Hodgie. I mean, how long can someone like Lachie Neale play for? We're seeing what David Mundy and Travis Boak are doing at the moment.
Yeah, I think with how smart they are with their bodies, they don't have to play every week, even though Lachie at the moment. But as you hit that 30 mark, teams realise that you're getting better bang for your buck if they maybe miss a game once every 5 or 6 weeks. But it's also to Lachie to develop a different game. The people who have longevity in the games, the people who can push out to a wing, can play at half forward, can maybe slip across the half back, just so, one, it gives their body a little bit of time, doesn't get crashed and bashed the whole time like Lachie does. Like if for anyone at home, just go and watch him play a game of football. He's always underneath the ruckman. He's always getting hit. People are, anytime they can get an opportunity to tackle him, they drive him into the ground. That can only handle in your body for so long. So it's up to him as well to get the most out of his body for that period of time. He needs to probably start to look at different positions to help him as well.
Are you concerned about Brisbane?
Look, there's a few red flags that you sort of look at. The first one's the continuity that they haven't had up forward, and people are sort of saying, Hitwood looks unfit, but you need that bloke firing in finals if you're going to be any good. So I'll be playing him just to get his fitness up. He's trying his backside off, and once you're out for 12 months, playing half forward's the hardest position on the ground. Yeah. But the continuity, Danaher, Hitwood, and Mick Stay have played 14 games together, and I think they've won 12, or won 11, and one of those was when Hippie hurt his knee. So when those guys are up and firing, they play well together, they're successful. But on the weekend, they didn't have Zorka, they didn't have Bailey, they didn't have Darcy Gardner, and Melbourne just showed them a lesson or two. So there's some red flags, but I wouldn't be that concerned because what we've seen over the last 3 years, if they're playing their best football, they're very hard to beat, and no one wants to be playing their best football now. It's the back end of the season, going into finals when you want to be charged.